Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you all had a lovely week. Okay, now today we are basically going to be looking at Microsoft PowerPoint and how we can use my master slide. That is the main objective of today's video. We are going to be looking at master slide and how we can use master slide. So we said in our previous video that a good presentation should not be wordy and should not have paragraphs, and then a good presentation should also bear objectives for the presentation. Just like here we have road accidents and then we have presentation objectives. What are we going to look at in our presentation? Causes of road accidents, effects, and then prevention of road accidents. Then you start off by introducing the topic of discussion, which is road accidents. You tell the audience about road accidents, and then we now have the causes, then the effects, and then prevention of road accidents. Okay, let us start off with our editing. In our slides, I think you can see that we are having a brief statements: causes of road accidents, overspeeding. So we do not have detailed explanations telling the audience on what overspeeding is. Now that is work for the speaker during the presentation. The PowerPoint presentation should only have brief statements, or what we call PowerPoints, that should give off a brief hint on what is supposed to be discussed. So let us move on straight away to what brought us here today, and that is editing presentation slides using the master slide. So the master slide, in our previous video we saw that it is found under the view tab. In the view tab you go to slide master, click on slide master. Now when you open slide master, the first thing you need to do is make sure that it is the first slide that is active. So in most cases when you click into slide master, it is the second slide that is active, but we need to make sure that it is the first slide, the very first slide under slide master, that it's supposed to be active. Why is that of importance? It is because it allows us to make changes to all the slides within the presentation. All the slides, be it title and content, be it title only, be it to content slides. This first slide allows us to make edits to all those slides. However, if it is only this slide that is highlighted, the edits will only go to slides that look like this. If it is only this slide that is highlighted, it is only these slides that will be the title and content slide that will be edited. So in order to apply our effects to all the slides in the presentation, we make sure that it is the first slide of the presentation that is active. Now we need to begin formatting our slide. So you need to keep in mind that when you editing your presentation, it should be appealing to the presentation, to the audience, because you're going to be standing before a given audience, and then your presentation should be really appealing. So one of my favorite background styles, so you come to this area of the slide, you look for any empty space within the slide, and then you right click. Now when you right click, you're going to look for format bar, format background. Is that okay? Now I've said you look for empty space within the slide. You come and right click within the slide, and then you look for format. Yes, so now we move on to produce to edit our slide. So I want to edit the background of my slide. So you're going to come within the slide, and then you click in an empty space within the slide. You right click, and then from this drop down box you're going to look for format background. Then you tap on format background, and then you have this dialog that you can use to format your background. So if you don't do it like that, you can also access it from above here where we have background styles. Then you click on the arrow and then you have different styles here. However, if these styles are not appeasing to you, you come and click on format background and then you're able to access this dialog box as well. So we have a number of background formats. Here we have the solid fill where you can just fill in a color. So here basically the solid fill, you're editing with color. Then we have the gradient fill where you're using different gradients. Then my personal favorite, the picture or texture fill. So under picture or texture fill, we have a number of textures that you can use, or pictures. So here we have texture. We have so many textures here, so many textures, but this one is my personal favorite. So whenever you're making edits, you have to take into consideration that you're presenting this information to audience, and the audience might be big and then there are people seated at the back. So you must make sure that your background effects or your background formats do not clash with the text, so that your work is visible to even someone who is seated far at the back. So we can now format our text. Our background is okay now, so we can now close this. So we can also format the header. We can format the heading. Maybe we can make it bold. So you come to the home tab, we can make it bold. We can change the font size. We can increase the font size to maybe 48. Then we can maybe change it to uppercase, and then we can italicize it, and then we can maybe also underline it. Then we can also add, we said animations are motion effects that are added to text. So I can come to animations, and then I choose any animation of my choice, and then I add it to my heading. So I can choose that as my animation text. So whenever you're doing these edits, try as much as you can to be uniform. You should not have one motion effect for one text and then another motion effect for another group of text. No, that is really not appealing, and you need to try as much as you can to be uniform. If you decide to use the random bars, let it be the random bars. Stick to one motion effect. Let it not be too much. Yes, do not overdo the presentation, just like that. Then I can also edit the text within the slide. You come to the home bar. Under the home bar, I can maybe italicize this text, maybe increase the font. I can maybe increase the font. Yes. And then what else can we do? We can now also add transition to my slide. So under master slide, it will enable us have a uniform transition for all the slides. So your presentation should not have very many transitions, because it is not okay. It is, try to be, as much as you can, try to be uniform. If you're going with a given transition, let it be the same throughout. Do not overdo the presentation. So you can choose a transition here. Maybe I want it to dissolve in like that. Then there are what we call timings for these transitions right here. Now when you apply a transition, how do you want that transition to be effected? Do you want it on mouse click, or you want it to be automatic? So you're going to uncheck. You come here on the right corner under transitions, and then you uncheck on mouse click, and then you want it to proceed after how many seconds? Maybe I want it to proceed after 5 seconds, and then you do what? You apply to all. Then you also do the same for the animations. We have our animations here. Do you want them to start on click of the mouse? No, I want them to come after the previous animation. So come after the previous animation, then we have the duration and then the delay, and then same as that, come after previous, then that is it. You have to always look at these timings for the animations and then the transitions. You have to uncheck under transitions. You have to make sure you uncheck the mouse click. That is if you want your presentation to move systematically without you having to always press on your mouse in order to transit from one slide to another. Then when you're done, when you feel you're contented with your presentation, we can now go to slideshow. So but before we go to slideshow, we need to first exit slide master. Is that okay? So we can now come under view and then we close slide master. So we come to normal, just like that. I think now you can see that our effects have been applied to all the slides. For my first slide, I'm seeing the heading is bold and underlined. Even my second slide, the heading is bold and underlined. Third slide, bold, underlined. Fourth slide, bold and underlined, bold and underlined. So after doing that, we now come and set up a slideshow. So for the slideshow, come and click on set up slideshow, and then you have a dialog box here. So this dialog box, do you want to advance slides manually or use timings if present? So those are the timings I was talking about under animations and transition. So we are going to use these timings in our presentation or in our slideshow, and then you're going to check loop continuously until escape. Now loop continuously until escape, that means that this presentation will keep on playing in a continuous loop until you press the escape button, and then after that you come and press OK, and then you have your presentation ready. So to view our presentation under the slideshow, we can now come and click from beginning, and that is how our presentation will look like. So I think you can see that the slides, this transition in the slides, our animations have been applied, our transitions have been applied. So basically the slide master makes that work easy. You can apply if formats, edits to the whole slide within a short period of time without having to individually apply those effects to each and every slide at a go. Well, I think that is it for today's video. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next video. We'll be dropping very soon. Do not forget to like, subscribe and comment. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.